ready for some summer? Well, I am, but we're not there yet. As you can see, I'm in long sleeves. It looks like it's gonna rain again. It's just enough of a chill to keep the long sleeves on. One day it's warm, the next day it's cold, but anyway, it's chilly again. So I'm going to make for dinner, I'm gonna make some pork chops, and I was gonna grill outside, but it looks like it's gonna start raining again. So I'm just gonna cook them up in a cast iron skillet. And I'm going to make some baked beans. I'm using a friend of ours recipe, Jeff and Tina. I'm using their baked beans, and it's got hamburger in it. They made it for us when we were there one visit, and I made them a couple times, and super, super good. But I'm going to make a low sugar version of it instead of straight ketchup and regular brown sugar. I'm using the Truvia brown sugar blend. This is like, I think, a 50% ratio. So I'm just gonna do it to taste. And I'm also going to use, instead of pork and beans, I've got pinto beans. So I'm gonna use some pinto beans, and then I'm going to use my no sugar added ketchup. I like it pretty well, and we don't mind the no sugar ketchup. So that's what I'm gonna do. They probably won't taste as good because they're amazing, but you know, it is what it is. And so that's what we're doing. So I've got my 6-quart Enamel cast iron Dutch oven warming up on my stove, and I just put a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to put my grips on my handles. I'm going to lower you down so you can see. All right, there we go. Maybe that's okay. It's really hard in my kitchen. So anyway, these grips, they fit right here on the handles, and they're awesome. And then when I put if I put this in the oven, I just pop them off so they stay cool. So I'm gonna pop in my hamburger. Okay. So I'm gonna put the meat in. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands up. Okay, I'm gonna use my mix and chop, and I'm gonna start breaking the meat up. All right. I'm ready to cook baked beans outside on the grill or the smoker or something outside. So I've got just an onion here, and I'm going to chop them up. I'm going to use my food chopper because I've got some cuts on my fingers, and I don't want to get any onion juice in my fingers, so I'm going to use the food chopper. All right, so I got my food chopper out, and I'm just gonna do a rough chop. I'm not looking to get it real fine or anything like that. We like onion a lot. Let this brown up. I'm probably done with this. Put that in the sink. Okay, I'm gonna let this cook up for a few minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, I think the meat is browned up really well. I'm going to put some salt and pepper in here. I'm using the pink salt, and I'm using the multi-blend peppercorns. Okay, so I'm just straining, getting rid of a little bit of the grease from the meat, and I'm just putting the grease in my little bowl here, and that'll go right in the trash. And there's just a little bit that I wanted to get off. I don't mind a little bit of the fat, but I don't really want all of it. So just gonna drain it, finish, got one more, and that's probably all I'll need to worry about. Okay, now I'm gonna add my onions. And cook those down for a couple minutes. All right, so I have the grease strained, and I have my onions to put in, and I'm going to add some chili powder, but I'm also going to add some cumin because, well, we like it. All right, so I'm not going to measure. I just want to season up the meat a little bit. And this might be a new, yep, it's new. So let me take the thing off. I'll be right back. Okay, oh, it smells good. Turn this down. Okay, so I'm gonna add my chili powder, just a little bit. And I'm gonna add some smoked paprika in here too. I'm longing for those flavors. All right. Add some beans. Now I did drain off just the top of the juice, mainly because I wasn't sure how that was going to taste, so but I think I'm going to add a little bit of water to my pan. All right, smells good. And all that water I just put in there is going to help to scrape up the flavoring from the bottom of the pan. It's all coming up. It smells so good. These are probably the best baked beans I had ever had when Tina made them for us. Oh my gosh. But I just needed to figure out a way to try to cut out some of the sugar in these beans. So I'm trying these pinto beans, and we'll see how it works. Let this cook for a few minutes. Okay, we're starting to come along. So I'm going to start with, it calls for 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Yeah, 3/4. So I'm going to start with, this is a 1/2 cup scoop. So I'll start with that. I can add to it. I feel like it's going to need more, because I did add extra beans and extra hamburger to it, so I add just a little bit more to it. couple squirts of mustard. It says 4 squirts of mustard. Had to clean out my cap. All right. Now we're going to do a couple of squirts of the ketchup. Now I'd rather have the regular ketchup, but you know, trying to cut back on that sugar. We're hoping this will taste just as good. We'll see. Okay, I felt like it needed just a little something because first of all, I'm not adding all of that extra sugar in it. So, but I did add, I had just a little bit of my Ray's barbecue sauce. And of course it's the no sugar. So I added just a couple squirts of that because I'm still trying to get that barbecue flavor that it seems like it's missing because of the no sugar, or maybe it's the beans. But it's really coming together now. It's coming together. Is it as good as when Tina made it? I don't know, but it's pretty good. Now, bacon would be awesome to add to it, but I don't have any thawed out bacon. Got it. Itch. I don't have any thawed out bacon, so I'm just going to skip the bacon today, and this is what we're going to have. We're going to have these baked beans with pork chops. See, they do look pretty good. And I'm going to cook my pork chops on my cast iron fajita pan. Check this out. Look. See how big it is? It's bigger than my head. Yeah. So I'm going to cook my pork chops on that pan, and I will show you the finished product. Okay, so I'm going to start prepping my pork chops for dinner. I've already made the baked beans. The baked beans are in the oven, staying warm. They are in my 6-quart cast enamel cast iron Dutch oven. So they're going to stay nice and warm. But I do have the temperature set at like 175, just the warm setting. That's the preset. So anyway, I'm going to prep my pork chops. So here's my pork chops. We have 3 nice sized pork chops. John will probably have one for lunch tomorrow. And on the bottom side, I've already done the salt, pepper, and the garlic powder. So I'm going to just do the top portion of it. And if you don't want your pork chops to curl, the good old trick is, I will show you what the trick is. So I'm using some pink salt, not a whole lot, but you know, we got to have a little flavor going, and some of the pepper. Okay, I'm going to take my little knife here, and I'm just going to cut a piece right here, if you can see what I'm doing. See if you can see. I just cut it, just put a slit right here. So I'm going to do that, and that's supposed to help it from curling up. And these are nice sized pork chops. I typically was going to do them outside on the grill, but it's been kind of raining outside off and on, and I really didn't feel like dealing with cooking outside in the rain. But it's not raining, so anyway. So these are the pork chops. I am going to cook them up in the, here it is, the big fajita pan. This is a cast iron fajita pan, and it's a little bit thinner than our traditional like 12-inch or the other skillets. So I'm gonna cook it in a lower heat so it doesn't get screaming hot and burn my chops. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back. All right, so I'm going to start cooking my pork chops. So I'm gonna aim this down a little bit. And I've got this warming up on low. And here's my olive oil. Now I don't want this too hot because I don't want it to get too hot, but it might already be. All right. All right, so I'm gonna let that cook for a few minutes on each side, and then I will take a picture of everything when it's done, and thanks for watching.